Hey everyone, how you doing? This is CyberBehike Sanakori. Hope everyone's well. I have no idea how the sound check is, but I think you guys can hear me because I see some green lights moving. So I think I'm good. I guess I'm always paranoid about that. So I just want to make some cool announcements today, some special news. I'm working on a grant through Partnership for Parks here in New York City, trying to get some money, some funding for the Shirakapak Earth Keepers program that's managed by the Taino Fun House. And this is a New York City initiative. So if anyone that lives in the five boroughs or outside the five boroughs, you are definitely welcome. Okay. And it's going to be a special project. We already started working on the park, Shirakapak, aka Inwood Hill Park. We're working on the swells, and we're hoping to do some good stuff in the upcoming year. It's very cold now, waiting for some warm weather to start the program once again. So, also, hold on a second. Hold on, I got some stuff there. Just gonna look at my phone right now. Oh, whoa. Hold on a second here. Something is tricky here. Just give me 1 second. I gotta look for my other notes there. Yes, I just want to share with you all some cool stuff that I'll be working on for the next year, and it's going to be working on trauma. Now, for many indigenous peoples, I would say all indigenous people, especially here in North America, Caribbean, Mexico, South America, Central America, we have this issue called intergenerational trauma. And this intergenerational trauma is related to what happened in the beginning in 1492. And as we know, in 1492, that was the year that the notorious Admiral Christopher Columbus was looking for India, and he found himself in the Caribbean. So that was the beginning of indigenous intergenerational trauma. So I'll be working on this coming year, dedicating some time, ways we can heal from this trauma. Many years ago, I wrote this book called 200 Ways to Heal with Trauma. Those are my notes there. And basically, I'd like to thank everyone who purchased the book and commented on it. You can find it on Amazon. It's free if you are subscribed to Amazon, and it's only $5. You can right now I only have the electronic ebook right now, and I'm working on some hard copies. This winter, I've been working on revising the 200 Ways to Heal and getting into hard copy. Not many people know I am a licensed clinician here in New York State. I do perform services, what we call behavioral health or psychotherapy. And I've been working on this modality of working with all kind of people, not just indigenous, of how to heal with trauma, be it physical, emotional, sexual, you name it, verbal. I've been working on these 200 ways of how to heal from this trauma. And so I'll be working on that, and also be working on how naturally, how we can heal naturally. Okay, I inherited this book from my grandmother. It's a very, very old book. You can see it almost caught on fire. I don't know if you can see that. Hold on a second. Where is it? Where's the burn marks? There you go. It almost caught on fire. And that was from the heat in Borinquen, Puerto Rico. And it's different ways, plant medicine and so on. So I inherited this from my grandmother. I've been studying it, and hopefully I could share with you all as part of the trauma, part of healing from trauma. I'm also going to use the most common modality used in indigenous circles, and that's the whole concept of the sacred tree and how that's connected also to the Taino way, the sacred tree, and that whole notion of circular and how life and healing is cyclical. So it's not linear, but cyclical. For example, in linear approach to healing, when you take certain medicines or you take certain work on certain systems, you might not use it anymore, or you might stop, or maybe you relapse. So then you start from the beginning. So the modalities I'll be teaching is definitely the modality of, relapse is part of the process of healing. So that's very important. So I won't get into it too much now, but I'll be offering that. I'll be also offering some private Zoom. It will be absolutely free to work on this whole concept of the sacred tree, which is we have a long history in the Caribbean. Um, Using the sacred tree medicine. All our medicines comes from trees. So I'll be using my grandmother's book that I inherited from her. And absolutely free. I won't be charging anyone. So you're all welcome. It's going to be through Zoom. And maybe once in a while I'll do some live shows highlighting some plant medicine. Now there's something that I've been doing recently that I'm going to sway away from. And I'm just going to look at my notes here. Hold on a second. Some people have written me. My own daughter has spoken to me about the use of AI videos, and so on. So I just wanted today, I sat down with Gemini AI, which is run by Google. And I was going to look at my notes here. And I asked Gemini, I want to ask you a question. I want you to be honest with me. And I asked a simple question: is AI dangerous to the environment? So this is what Gemini AI told me. And I said to be very honest with me, don't hide, don't hold any punches back. Tell me. And hold on a second. Let me look. Okay. So here was the question: is AI affecting the environment in a negative way? And this is what AI said. Yes, AI is currently having a significant negative impact on the environment, primarily due to the massive infrastructure and energy required to train and run complex models. While AI can be used to help solve environmental issues, its physical footprint is growing rapidly. So, on one side, it's good because it gives you quick knowledge, right? Or I should say, quick information right away, but it's leaving destructive footprints because it's connected to fossil fuels and so on. So I will no longer be using AI videos. I was having some fun with it, but it will be totally hypocritical of me as the founder of the Shirakapa Earth Keepers, also as a native indigenous person living in New York City. It will be totally disrespectful to the ancestors, disrespectful to you, and I'll be a hypocrite if I continue to use AI, knowing that it is heavily affecting the environment in a negative way. So if you know of any people, maybe you are an artist, please let me know. Um, Maybe you will do some per diem work in a sense of, not per diem, pro bono work, in which you can offer your skills into creating some figures that we can use in upcoming videos. Okay. uh, I'm not a great artist myself. I do like to draw, and I know some people that are great artists, and I'll be approaching you to see if you can help me sketch out some ideas and some historical figures that we can use on future videos. But from now on, I'm fully retired from AI, If you see an AI video after this video, you can call me a hypocrite. Definitely. You can tell me to my face. I won't be offended. Maybe it'll wake me up, but I doubt I'll ever go back. It's not good uh, environmentally. So, in summary, what I said was in the beginning, it's going to be some fantastic news. I'm applying for some grants, so the Shirakapak Earth Keepers can definitely receive some funding so we can help out the environment here in the New York City. Inwood Hill Park is the only park in New York City in the five boroughs that is forever wild. It's the way Manhattan used to look, and I do like to um, give a shout out to the Parks Department for keeping that alive and well. Okay, we have a comment here. AI affecting the environment is the least and smallest problem of AI. So let me see. Affecting the environment is the least and smallest problem. Well, as an indigenous person, I can honestly say, and I've been reflecting on this the whole day, is that as indigenous people, the earth is our mother. And when you walk this way of the indigenous way, or what many people call the red road, it's very important to walk the talk. So I understand this is a huge, colossal topic on AI. It helps a lot of people. It helps research. It's done tremendous work, but we have to figure out a way as humans to move away from fossil fuels. Very important because it's destroying the environment. So that's the starting point. It's not the whole issue, not the whole problem of AI, but it's something, And I know it's been helping tons of people and scientists and doctors and clinicians like myself. It's been helping tons of stuff, but we have to be really responsible in the indigenous way. So that's all I mean by that, And I want to start with myself. I want to start myself. And I know it's hard to move away from AI. It's part of my work. The workplace, we use AI in a lot of our techniques and tools. So it's very difficult. So I'm gonna try to be as organic as possible in my videos and move away from AI. Many of you know I have an indigenous mobile library, and I've been looking at the books once again and saying, hey, books, I'm sorry, I neglected you. I'm an expert in research. I've been researching all my life, and I know it takes longer, but we have to keep our brain active. We got to keep it totally active, or we're gonna lose it. So that's what I wanted. That was the breaking news tonight. Is one, I'm applying for grants. If anyone's interested in hands-on work with the earth, with our mother, Inwood Hill Park is the main headquarters. If you know of any park, if you know of any place that needs help, please let me know, and maybe we can go out there. AI together with robotics, camera, microphones, cell phones, and drones. Right now, AI is on the learning stage, learning human psychology and way of thinking and expressions, which will be used to control us. Oh, that's right. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that controls us. That is not after 9/11, things have changed. Things have changed. Transhumanism. Wow, that's a good one right there. So this is a topic that I really want to dive into in future talks, maybe through Zoom, because this is something it's happening quickly. And I know a lot of my friends who are in the UFO community, we go back to Roswell, technology has, since Roswell to now, it has skyrocketed, man. So it's not easy. It's totally not easy. But I don't know about you, but I love when I go into the woods. I love when I commune with nature. Is nothing like it. But it seems like AI is affecting that environment Different brands of AI may have different, more sustainable approaches, and that's the ultimate aim is to enforce as indigenous people. We need to enforce this principle that we need to be responsible with our technology. We as humans, we are responsible to keep the rhythm of this earth. The earth is spinning what 1,800 miles a minute or whatever. So you know, and but there's dynamics that are going on in the world that we have to maintain its rhythm, or what many people call maintaining the balance. And this is our role as human beings. Before I drop the video, an AI video, actually, is going to be my last AI video for a while, until this is straightened out with the environment. But I mentioned about the four gifts from the Creator in the Taino worldview. And the first gift was humanity. It seems like our ancestors, they were really just like any culture in the world. You ask the question, where do we come from? Where do we come from? And our ancestors, their first approach, of course, they didn't have libraries and nothing like that. They looked at nature. And in their stories that they share with the Spaniards, they mention about the mineral world. Okay, the mineral world, and that's in the example of Makokael, he of the eyes that do not blink, that he was standing guard at the cave, and then with his one day he didn't get back in time, and he turned into stone, and they shut the entrance, and that's when he turned into stone. So right there, we introduce to the mineral world. And then in the stories, they go on and talk about the animal world. Um, Kahubaba, when he left the cave, he turned into a bird like the nightingale. So again, we have the mineral world as one gift, and then second we have the animal world, which is another gift. And then, which kind of, I guess our ancestors understood that yes, we're life forms, but as humans we have a greater responsibility, right, to protect the animals, to protect the world, protect the minerals. Okay, and then wait, let me see. Someone just wrote something. AI will take 90% of the human labor, which means in the near future, no government will need no more human workforce. Yeah, that's scary. All right. That is super scary, which means that in the future, world powers will not need this much humans in the world. Whew, it's going to be deep. It's kind of scary when you look at the future. Well, what are we going to do? How are we going to sustain ourselves? How are we going to eat? Will AI provide us food? That's going to be some ethical questions there for for the future and our future descendants, the future world human community. So when we look back in our indigenous roots, Taino, namely, we're looking at a people, our ancestors, who honored the mineral world, and they honored the first the human community, right? Where Wahayona took the women and they went to a distant land. So most likely, some interpretation of this is maybe uh, sexual diseases, venereal diseases, and he was trying to protect the women, keep the human species alive. So then, and I won't get into that here, but you got the human responsibilities. Then you got the minerals that we need. We in our bodies contain 100 minerals. Without those minerals, we're dead. So we got mineral world, and then we got the plant world. In the stories, they went out to fish and they turned into hobo trees. So again, the plant world, very important. So we got humans, right? We got animals, mineral, and the plant worlds. These are the four gifts. And human beings have the awesome responsibility of taking care of each world. That's a lot of responsibility. Yep, a really near future. So As CyberBehike, I want to challenge everyone. How can we use our past knowledge as indigenous, and how can we apply it now? So my conscience is telling me I need to take a pause with this whole cyber AI stuff, and really study this. But until it's environmentally safe and responsible and good conscience, I can't continue to use AI for videos and so on. It was very entertaining, made my job easier, but I want to take it to the next level as a YouTuber. I'm trying to use technology to pass the word that we are still here, that we did not die in the 1500s as a culture, but we changed. And we're still in migration. The migration story still continues. So that explosion of Taino culture in 900 Common Era up until now is very active. So if anyone is interested, you're welcome to send your ideas, your thoughts about um, what kind of videos you want to see and so on. If you're an artist, I need your help. If you know an artist, tell them that we need their help so we can keep this as organic as possible. So I'll be continuing with the creation stories in the oral tradition, and we'll take it from there. I'd like to thank everyone. And listen, I know there's a lot of turmoil in Turtle Island right now, and also the world. Human beings, we have an interesting way of trying to maintain balance. And here's the thing, there's a positive energy on one side, you have negative energy on the other side, and they're both energies. Okay. So, our goal, our ambition is to maintain that balance, like a seesaw, right? To maintain that balance. Very important. And the key about that balance is if you can maintain the void, that centerpiece, just like the Atabe circle, that dot in the middle, if we can somehow keep the circle moving, but the most important part about the circle is the middle point, and there's stillness there, there's silence there. That's where the void exists. And that's the most important part of the whole wheel. That's the most important part of a cup is the emptiness. Okay. So please, let's try our best. Let's stick together, and let's my hope and my ambition is that, yeah, we make mistakes, we screw up. And at times we screw up so bad that sometimes it feels like there's no forgiveness for it. But as human beings, we need to continue to check ourselves. We need to continue to work as a community, as social beings. And this is what our ancestors understood. They understood this very well up until the invasion of 1492. Our ancestors tried their best to continue that rhythm. The first step is to eliminate cash and replace it with the Bitcoin. Woo! Well, cash, that paper, right? You need that paper to have full control of us. Whoa. Yeah. But maybe that could be a good topic for the future to talk about this whole economy, how economy has changed through generations. And in an indigenous way, our economy was based on, farming and trade, where this fisher people, say for example, from Mayagüez territory, would they would trade with the communities up in the mountains for yuca, fish, and so on. I love that system. There's a rhythm to that. There's no money exchange. It's goods. Man, there's so much history about that we can talk about. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate all you listeners out there. I want to give a special shout out. Do not consent to timelines you don't want to experience. Whoa. Do not consent to timelines you don't want to experience. Very interesting, gracious sun child 9877. I gotta reflect on that. That's a good one. Do not consent to timeline. I'd like to thank gracious sun child 9877. Beat Active 8075. Excellent thoughts. Thank you for your honesty. Um, Also, I saw the official 44 Mag, who is a volunteer at the Taino Fun House, does great work, and Firekeeper and Shirakapot Earthkeeper. Man, you guys are great. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to invite you guys to a Zoom so we can talk about this privately. And I would love to know your ideas and your understandings and how we can relate that to the past, our indigenous ways in the past, how we can apply that now. Guys, Bokwatukan, blessings, and have a special night of visions. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.